I will bring your third from final act. Please go absolutely crazy and welcome the wonderful Sarai Cross!
Hello. How are we doing? Good. Look at audience and smile. This actually feels a lot like my first birthday. You know, strangers staring at me. Me wondering when I'm going to get my next drink. I'll promise not to cry and shit myself. I'm actually going to need your help. Maybe because I'm really short with the microphone. Like this in class, thank you, Kate. So I'm going to need a bit of your help. So if you can all start with a basic beat. If you're tone deaf, join the club. But let's try to do this together. You guys have been awfully quiet this evening, so... Thank you. Okay, so you know what? In my head there was a lot more laughs, but we'll get there. Actually, I looked very different in front of the mirror this evening when I was practicing. A lot more light. It's awkward in the mirror, isn't it, like that? So basically, ladies and gentlemen, I've met a lot of people. I'm 27 years old. I've met a lot of people, and a lot of them tell me I'm funny. There's been Mum, Dad. Look, there's been at least 3. You know, I actually remember the first time I told my parents, I was like, you know, it's actually in my face. That's quite annoying. So I remember the first time I told my parents I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and they laughed. And I thought, a laugh already, what a fantastic start, let's do this. So, as you can hear from my accent, I'm not from New Zealand, and no, I don't get offended because I'm not from New Zealand. I am, in fact, from a very famous country known as Neighbours. Have you heard of it? We're getting louder, we're getting there. Brilliant. This is bloody hot, I shouldn't have worn the dress, excuse me. Throwing it on the ground for more dramatic. I've actually forgotten what's next, so we'll go with the phone for a second. Apparently I'm much funnier when it's awkward and I forget, so we'll do that. Oh yes, moving to London. I remember that part, I did it. So, moving to London. I did that 2.5 years ago. Has anyone else moved to London? Brilliant. So you'll be very, very familiar with British culture, or getting to know it and getting comfortable with British culture. It's taken a few, you know, a few turns. I've had to get used to it. I recently actually heard a story about people getting on a bus that they do every day, the same bus, that's right. And they were on the bus, and this story really sums up British and Australian culture, the differences. So they're on the bus, and apparently the driver's gone into autopilot and driven the whole way home. Don't ask me how he got home. But he's on the bus, well, obviously, because that's his fucking job. And I'm there too, or the person telling me this story was. And they're looking at each stop, and it's wrong. You know, yesterday, day before, the year before, fuck my whole life. They've turned left, but today they've turned right. Let's just play it cool. Must be something weird with the traffic. Maybe avoiding, I don't know. Then we keep going. Next stop. Shit, this is weird. Surely it was meant to go that way. Fuck, that's weird. It's almost like it's a tennis match, isn't it? With the wrong ways. Now an Australian person, ladies and gentlemen, after the first stop, if not the second, would be like, excuse me driver, where the fuck are you going? British awkwardness #1, getting used to that. Now the second thing has been the tube. I don't know if anyone feels comfortable on the tube, do they? Do you do that awkward stare at the map, even though you know what's next? Here we go again. Same line again. Oh, yes. Camden, I'm sure Camden. Is this the modern? Yeah, Camden, yes, brilliant. And then someone catches eye contact with you and you're like, fuck, don't look at them. What are you looking at? Anyway, so you're catching the tube, it's very busy, you've just jumped on and there's one seat, so you've obviously knocked the grandma and the pregnant woman out of the way. And up you get. Excuse me, this was much shorter at home as well. Alright, we're there. Sorry Terry, I'm not copying your act. So, we also don't have walls. So I'm sitting there on the tube and basically surrounded by people, it's fucking packed, and my favourite thing to do when they give you that dirty look like you're the fucker that stole the last seat is just to do this. You'll be surprised how it gets them every time. But then, ladies and gentlemen, you lose the game or race. Well, it wasn't a race, it was a game. You lose it because you are confronted by one of the best things I've learnt about British culture, which is the FOF. The fart on face. I have never hated being short as much as I do on the tube. Don't even let me get started on your plumbing system. I got it. I've been to America a few times. I have no idea how I'm going with timing, but fuck it, because I'm holding the microphone. So, I've been to America and I get it. They explain it. The flush goes the wrong way, but you know, there's a bit of relief. It will go down eventually, even if it does this backwards swoop. Here, ladies and gentlemen, you go to the toilet and it is the most religious time of your life. I've actually invented a prayer for this. The lock, smell, flush time. Can anyone guess what the lock's for? I don't fucking care, I'm explaining. So the lock, you go in and you're stressing out the whole time. A, have you closed it? Because it's just that bit further where you can't reach it. You start doing the leg thing. No, sure, it's not there. What about this one? Matching. So you start doing the thing with the lock. Then, ladies and gentlemen, what was next? Smell. You're panicking that person after you is going to be like, who the fuck was in here? The flush. Okay, we get it. It doesn't go there. It goes the same way as Australia. But will this shit sink, literally? And ladies and gentlemen, the time. You don't want to spend too long in there. Because people are like, where did she go? That's funny. We started the film 2 hours ago. Titanic, we've got an hour left. Probably too old of a film to reference. I'll fix that in the next show. One more, folks. I got it. Do you know what? I was actually meant to be standing up for this part. Not the tube part, obviously, that would have been more difficult. But just this part here, ladies and gentlemen, because I am known by a lot of people for being lazy. If you see the state of my room, well, you won't really see my room because there's no room, because the floor is covered. No one goes in there, ever. And I'm quite lazy, and I remember, you know, a year ago, in fact, I said, I'm going to start a blog. I'm going to do something. And after one entry, the first and last entry, that blog soon turned to bog. And I thought, what can I do? What can I do to make people laugh and be comfortable? So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the debut of, that's right, me, Saz Banger, becoming the world's first and best sit-down comedian. Thank you and good night.